Do you ever feel paralyzed by the fear of losing money? For Robert Kiyosaki, this fear was one of the biggest lessons he had to learn. His poor dad warned him to avoid risks, but his rich dad had a different perspective. He believed that fear wasn't the enemy, fear was the teacher. But rich dad believed otherwise. He told Robert, "The fear of losing money is what stops most people from ever becoming wealthy. If you can't master your fear, you'll never master money." Robert's poor dad thought that security was the answer, saving money and avoiding risks at all costs. He believed that losing money was the worst thing that could happen. But rich dad saw things differently. He told Robert, "If you fear losing money, you'll never take the steps needed to grow it." Rich dad explained that the path to wealth requires stepping out of your comfort zone and taking calculated risks. Fear is natural, but it's how you respond to fear that determines your future. To illustrate this, Rich Dad told Robert stories of successful people who overcame their fear of failure. He talked about entrepreneurs like Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb, or Oprah Winfrey, who overcame rejection to become one of the most influential people in the world. Rich Dad said, "The difference between winners and losers isn't that winners don't feel fear, they do. But winners act in spite of their fear. They see failure as a stepping stone, not a dead end." To help Robert overcome his fear, Rich Dad encouraged him to take small steps. He asked him to invest in his first venture. Robert hesitated, he was scared of losing money. But Rich Dad reminded him, "Even if you lose, you'll gain something far more valuable, experience and knowledge." Although the venture didn't succeed, Robert walked away with lessons he couldn't have learned otherwise. He realized that the fear of losing money wasn't as bad as he thought, and that the real failure would have been not trying at all. Over time, Robert learned to embrace his fear and see it as a natural part of the journey. He understood that fear will never completely go away, but it can be managed and used as a motivator instead of a barrier. Rich Dad's lesson is clear: don't let fear stop you. Learn from it. Use it. And let it push you toward the life you've always dreamed of. So, the next time you feel afraid, remember this: fear is not your enemy. It's your guide. It shows you where to grow, where to take risks, and where to build your future. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe to our channel for more life-changing lessons from Rich Dad Poor Dad.